Hey Sagittarius, what's going on? We are here with a timeless reading. The first card that we have out is Seven of Pentacles. And the second card is Seven of Cups. All right. When we have Seven of Pentacles and Seven of Cups, it can mean that you're at a point where you can be sort of like weighing things to figure out how you feel. Seven of Pentacles generally implies that it's connected with something that you're sort of like in the middle of, something that you have going on presently, something that's sort of active within your life. Because Seven of Pentacles is there, it can be that time where there's a feeling of almost being like on the fence, especially with that Seven of Cups there too, where Seven of Cups is trying to make sense of something. I'm trying to figure something out. I'm trying to like get a better, more clear feel for how it is that I feel about this. And because these are sevens here, sevens are connected with like change, luck, chance, destiny, even we can say. And I see seven as being connected with Jupiter and whatnot. So because of having that there, it can feel like something is happening right now where things are coming into question, and there is definitely a need to sort of dive deeper to feel like you're really getting to the clear essence of what you're feeling on an intuitive level. I see sevens as being connected with introspection and whatnot. So Seven of Pentacles can be, do I want to keep doing this or not? Do I want to keep engaging in this or not? Do I want to keep investing in this or not? And then Seven of Cups can be like, what do I feel? How do I make sense of this? Maybe I'm feeling a lot of different things. Like, how do I get down to the clear essence of this? It's kind of like a need for an astringent here of some sort. I'm seeing Page of Swords, so you can be on a mission to investigate this further. I think, like, really what you're feeling, like where your heart lies within all of this. Page of Swords and Strength can be having to really ask yourself hard questions here, but it can be worth it to you because then you're really going to get to the essence of how you feel and the truth for yourself. And so it may not be easy to do this, but it can also be something where you're like, I have to find this out. Like more than anything, but for some reason, something about this being challenging. And maybe there's also a need for you to be curious as well. I'm seeing stuff about your future having to do with this. I wonder too if this is about as well, like making progress, wrangling in that part of you that's going to really take action and do what's needed here, sort of regardless of what's being asked of you, especially if it is something difficult, that part of you that will come online and be like, nope, I got it, I'm gonna do it, I'll take care of it, I will get it done. Regardless of how like monumental, impossible something may seem. Knight of Wands is that energy where like you can call on that energy and they will come through. Again, no matter how impossible something may seem, they'll still try and try their hardest. And so this feels like it is ultimately connecting with that part of yourself that may need to be sort of like hungry for this when it can be difficult because you're still figuring some stuff out over here. Three of Wands and Knight of Wands is also that you're going to be stepping into maybe a bit of a more adventurous, like risk-taking energy or chancing things in a more calculated way, but still having that element of chancing things or like taking a risk or like want to find out, not wanting to hold yourself back. Problem solving that's happening. I see a very like mentally strategic approach here that's being taken, like a lot of thought that's being given to this. like a close look. This is everything that I've done in relation to this situation, okay? This is everything that I've done. This is what's been going on. This is sort of like what I have to show. It feels like a sizing up that's happening. And because I'm having King of Swords here, I wonder if like from a more, like first and foremost, from a logically sound perspective, taking a look at this, that's not to say there aren't going to also be other parts of you that are taking a look at this, but it does feel like making sure that something is logically sound is important. So you can, there's the necessity for an incisive nature here, which feels like just executing something based off of seeing things clearly, like decision making, and especially using that when you're in somewhat of a like baffling or confusing or unclear situation. So it feels like, let me look at the solid observable stuff that I have to go based off of, and let me organize and understand how I feel about this. And I feel like it's about what has come to play so far based off of what's been going on. Like if you have to look at this and say, like, this is what's come so far and let me judge this as it is, knowing it's not the end of something. This feels like in this moment, just as far as it has come, let me take a look at it here and just judge it presently in this moment and get to the bottom of how I really feel about this, because I get this sense of kind of feeling different things for different reasons from different places and different perspectives, and wanting to clear some stuff up here. As I said about seeing sevens as being connected with introspection, where the Seven of Pentacles and Seven of Cups are, the Hermit is falling out. Like the card went right over there, and it's where King of Swords and it's where Hermit both are. So what Hermit is going to do is, this is going to be you really taking a flashlight and looking at everything and saying, what do I think about this? What do I feel about this? Let me do some self-discovery here when it comes to anything that I feel like I don't have a clear answer, clear understanding of, given what's going on here, because I really do want to see this. Because of having Seven of Cups here, there can definitely be stuff on an emotional level that's going on. And because we have King of Swords here, there can be a need to, from a more like rational logic place, look at it. So there's still going to be that there's emotional stuff going on here. At the same time, this feels like logic is also going to be processed into this and included, rather than leaning so far on a side emotionally where logic is then lost. It feels like there's really a need when we have King of Swords there to be looking at this. Like, what can I observe? Like, let me just look at the cold numbers of this and really take a good look at that. Apart from my preferences and what I want and what I don't want and all of that, like, let me just look at what this is, and then let me try to understand how I feel about it after that. And the Hermit is that purity of insight that we gain through honest self-reflection, through self-discovery, when we really do want to see what's going on and how we feel and what we think and what our perspective is. And it can be a time where we simplify, where we reduce things down to the most pure essence of our experience to be able to better understand it, so it can be breaking it down in a more digestible way, so you're not left then with all that confusion or all that surface level looming that you may presently be working through. It's like taking something that feels kind of chaotic and disorganized related to what you're feeling and making sense of it. And that's where this exploration is coming to. think too, you're learning more about what works for you, what you can function within, what you can work within. And wanting to feel at one, at peace, and in a state of flow and harmony with yourself. All right. Something challenging coming up here. I am seeing the Three of Swords. Making progress with something that feels painful, but there can also be something connected with the future that feels a bit difficult to process as well. You can feel, though, that this needs to be addressed. Otherwise, it will, I think, not allow you to like reach the heights that you are wanting to reach. Like sometimes there can be some type of sacrifice or true honesty with ourselves in order to reveal what we need to see. Having Three of Swords and having Hanged Man, this does feel to me when I see that like it can be the heartbreak that comes from when we didn't have all the information, what we were seeing, and then in gaining all of the information, sort of what comes to light, and then having to like come to terms with that. That's kind of what I see. I also feel like there's a reevaluation that's happening when it comes to your future. And it also feels like maybe like despite going through something that feels very challenging mentally and emotionally, still needing to show up with that part of you that's like challenge accepted. I'm gonna like be fully, totally present to this and do what I can here. Even though it can feel really difficult when we are feeling wounded, when we're feeling pained, when we're feeling hurt, when we are experiencing suffering of some sort, which I definitely am seeing here with the Three of Swords. It can be something that sort of throws you for a loop here. But you can feel too like if this is not addressed, you can't really move forward, or like you're not going anywhere, not really going at the pace that you want to be going at. Not when it comes to the type of progress that you want to be making or what you feel like is right as far as where you are on your path. I do feel like something that comes to light here is connected with the future that you perceived and something painful associated with that. Meaning, yeah. Something now about even tuning into where things are going and then like wincing at that a little bit because something has happened now. Investigating that's happening, connected with how you feel. It does feel like there is a tuning in that's happening now that is connected with right now in this present moment. What are you truly feeling? What is the pure essence of that in this moment? And you can also feel like you have to do something difficult in order to protect the sanctity of harmony and stability within your life. Like you need to trust yourself. Something challenging is needed, but having this energy of strength here kind of gives the feeling of like we can see strength in the sun connected with you sort of being the king of your life, okay? So you as the king, you as the sole ruler of your life, something is needed here from you, which may be a difficult call to make, but it's going to protect like harmony in the land of your life. So you can look at it like that with strength and the Four of Wands. And I do feel too like some type of Neptunian process is happening where something that you could have seen as being an investment in one thing now, or seen an investment a certain way, something about that you are gaining more perspective of, and it's shaping up to look a little bit differently than how you had been seeing it before. And it can almost feel a bit like this is some type of an incomplete process. At the same time, there's something here about reframing can be happening, letting go can be happening when we have the Hanged Man, but it's going to be letting go of anything that is not a perspective of truth in the evaluation, which means that there can be things that you are seeing that you weren't seeing before. There can be perspectives that you are gaining that you did not have before, where it feels like things are becoming like uncovered. And within that, you can be seeing things in a very different way than you had been seeing before. So there can be some big shifting that's happening and stuff appearing very differently as you're going through this process than it did before. And it can also be a time too where wherever there wasn't full truth and perspective of like the reality, that's also, truth is replacing any type of like false narratives or any incorrect perceptions or beliefs about things. So there is like a replacing that's happening. An investment, you looking into things, you finding out more about what's needed to keep balance and I think like ordinance within the structure of your life, to keep things sustainable, to keep things moving, to keep things running. And it feels too like there's some stuff about like your future, stuff that you have to like let go, stuff that you have to surrender, stuff about where you thought you were going to be that's changing now, things that you were projecting into the future of like this is going to be happening and that's going to be happening. Hanged Man is saying like that may not be accurate for your storyline actually. So it can be a time where there's that surrendering that's happening. There's a time of reevaluation that's happening about your path, about where you're going, about what's happening, given the information that you have now that you may not have had before. The perspective that you are gaining now that you may not have had before, and this being a little bit closer to the truth, a little bit closer so you can really see what's going on here. When we have Hermit, it's always that decision of introspection. I see Hermit as like, you're not forced to find out the truth about this. You're not forced to take a closer look. But if you want to see the truth, it's on you to investigate. And when you do, that's exactly what you get. When your intention is, I want to see things for what they really are, no matter what it may be, I want to see the truth, that is exactly what you're going to get. But it can be a little bit of a jagged pill to swallow here because I'm seeing this Three of Swords. This can be like something unexpected that you're seeing. It can be something painful. It can be something that's different than what you wanted, different than what you thought, different than what you hoped for. It can be something that feels difficult to reconcile. I feel like specifically as it relates to like maybe the future that you were perceiving and it being connected with that. And making sense of, I think, your feelings having to do with everything that's going on here. And also getting a clear idea of what it takes for you to create that harmonious dynamic within your experience, and what you may have thought like, this is how I do it, and now stuff is happening and you're finding out that maybe it's going to be a bit of a different process here. That, I feel like that about sums it up for this. Having Eight of Wands does show sort of like blocks being removed and about a sense of final direction here. and speed as well. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I'm seeing Leo. We're going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. Leo is connected with you following your heart. And as I said before, having Leo be connected with the sun and the sun be about like the rulership of your life. This feels like, especially as it relates to what harmony within your life feels like and what needs to be done in order to actualize that feeling, to complete that process and to keep things feeling like this is how they should function, this is how they should work. Thank you everybody for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.